And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Sports and second game day of the Under-20 Rugby Championship, and set for a bit of a cracker coming up. Australia taking on the host, the Junior Boks. We're coming off a victory against Argentina last week, the Pumitas, and with that victory, the Junior Boks currently sitting top of the log because, after the first round, because of that draw between New Zealand and Australia, which has really set up the Rugby Championship very nicely, because if the Boks are to win today, they would go to basically a perfect score, and that would suddenly make things quite interesting with regards to how the table's going to look, and what we sort of going to see when it all comes to an end on Sunday, with the Boks taking on New Zealand, who have just beaten Argentina as well. So responded nicely there, did the New Zealanders. But again, as I mentioned, this is all going to sort of come down to the last day. I think that's the main thing. And a big opportunity, I think, for us to go and win the Under-20 Rugby Championship. We weren't particularly good at this last year at all. And hopefully we'll be a lot better this year. And again, a victory against Australia will be a long way to go to doing that. So at the moment, going into today, the Boks set up with 4 points, Australia with 2, New Zealand with 2, Argentina with none. New Zealand will go up now to 6 points, if I'm not mistaken, and a win for us takes us to 8 points, which means that, I mean, ideally, if we can go to beat New Zealand on Sunday, then that would be obviously enough for us to win. However, if we were to, for example, draw, that would also potentially be enough for us, depending on the points difference. So the main thing, I think, is to go out and try and win all your games. That's probably the big thing, and to try and sort of show that you are the best junior side around, especially within our Sanzar rivals. And an interesting side that Kevin Foote has selected, because there have been a couple of changes coming in to the side, as well a couple of changes coming in from the side from Australia. So if we look at the Junior Boks, in the front row, it is Tapua Ngobise, Jean Descouman, and Herman Lubber in that front row. Riley Norton continues to captain the side in the number 4 jersey. Incredibly talented player, scored last week in the tournament opener. You then got Mole Fenta, who partners him. Your back row is Ola Enyala, and then the very exciting Bato Tlakani. He comes in on the bench there. Wandile Mtlaba at number 8. Vusi Moya will partner Kiana Everson. Vusi Moya looked really good last week rather, when he came on. Really did change the game a little bit. You got Cian Lozi in number 11 jersey, Cheswell Houston at number 14. Your centers are Dominic Malchus and Scott Nell. JC Mars starting at fullback today, the very exciting fullback from the Stormers. Off the bench, it's HP Udendal, Oliver Reed, Johnny Rasmus, Neil Hansen, Tando Bayela, Albert Fisser, Carl Smith, and Gino Cubido, who did score last week. And very exciting players. Really made his 7th debut over there. So big players sort of missing. No Hashim Peed. He scored a brace last week, so that's quite a big absentee. And if you look at Australia, they've very much drigged their back line a little more consistent than their forwards. In the front row, it's Finn Baxter, Ollie Barrett, Trevor King. You then got Joey Mangelsdorf and Ewan Doyle captains the side. 2 locks captaining the sides today. The back row for that Australian song is Luca Cleverly, Ila Yangi, and Bauer Morrison. Wyatt Sharples and Finn Prass at the halfback pairing. You then got Malachi Ignacio and Xavier Rubens in the centers. Cooper Waters and Nick Conway, and Sid Harvey's also a capped 7s player on the international circuit for Australia. Off the bench, it is Lupina Arta, Nick Hill, Edwin Lange, Oli Amala, Charlie Fosnan, James Martins, Joey Fowler, and Boston Fakafanua. So, a couple of changes there for both sides. Obviously, it's quite a short tournament. And the main thing, I think, this is basically, it's preparation for the Under-20 World Championship, which is obviously in sort of June, July next month, actually. So it's very much about rotating and trying to find out, which of your players are your best players. What's your best 23, for example, growing as a team in terms of the way you want to play and kind of the brand of rugby you want to play. So results obviously important, and going and winning a Rugby Championship would be really, really cool. But for me, it's all about basically preparing to try and win the World Under-20 Championship, which we haven't done since Andre Pollard and the likes of his did back in 2012. So 13 years without a victory in that tournament. So this would be a nice stepping stone to getting back to that. And very interesting to see how this man of the year, looking at the coin toss earlier, and Riley Norton, impressive sportsman, obviously capped at junior level for the Pro Teams, the NC19. Played an Under-19 World Cup. You then got him playing for the SA Under-20s and captaining today. So an incredibly talented sportsman. He has committed to rugby at this stage. You kind of have to do these days. You can't play professional cricket and professional rugby at the same time. I mean, he's still a junior, so he could kind of get away, I suppose, to a certain degree with going to university and playing a bit of university cricket and the likes of that. I mean, if you were at a Marty's, for example, you could probably play for Stellenbosch at your uses and stuff and still be able to be in the rugby setup. But very unlikely and very difficult to do, because something like him, he'll be hoping when it comes sort of, December, when you have all those sort of junior provincial tournaments, he'll want to be involved in Varsity Cup camps, SA20 camps, potentially even Stormers camps and the likes of that. So let me know what your score predictions are in the comments below. And what we've got to say, which players, I think, for me, that's always the big thing. It's the players I'm here to watch, not really the team as much and performance, but what players are you excited to watch? Now, I did a video talking about some players to watch, and a lot of them are featuring today. I spoke about Riley Norton being somebody to watch, Bartek Kekani very much being somebody to watch, as well as Dominic Malchus and JC Mars. Those are sort of 4 of my 5 players to watch. Hashim Peed was actually the other one who scored a brace. So I was also a good start in terms of players to watch. Let's see how these 4 players in particular can go today. Sapir Ngobesi, also a very talented young loose head. Very keen to see how he goes. A couple of school kids in there. Looks like a reasonable crowd in there on a Tuesday afternoon down in Gqeberha. And this will all come to an end on Sunday. Short and sweet is this tournament. Basically all played within about 10 days. But, I mean, what more do you need? You really? I mean, I suppose you don't need much more than that, do you? And we're playing once again at 4 o'clock on Sunday against New Zealand. It is the Pumitas taking on the Wallabies. That is at 2 o'clock on Sunday. As we wait for the sides to take the field, 5 minutes to go before we get national anthems and the likes of that. So plenty of time to get your score predictions in, and let me know who you guys are keen to sort of keep an eye on and what we're kind of looking forward to. As we also, the big thing is last week, we sort of get an idea of what the Boks jersey is going to look like. Very much the same. Obviously, we won't have Junior Boks on it, but apart from that, the F&B on the front over there, Pick and Pay on the back. We're seeing a little bit of the Pick and Pay branding on the front of the training gear as well. All part of the new sort of sponsorship look for within the Boks setup. So an opportunity to kind of see how that all looks in reality. So please also do smash like on the video, by the way. I think we'll get up to over 100 people watching. So let's see if we can get up to 50 likes. But please do go and smash that like button. And Jan says, what happened in the games between New Zealand and Argentina under 20 Junior Boks by 12? Why did New Zealand under 20? I want to say it's 27, 21 or something like that. I'm actually trying to find a page that actually has the updated result, because I was actually out and I missed the final result. So I'm trying to see what the final score was. But the Sansa website's hopeless. Supersport website's not much better, to be honest. Same with the log, for example. But national anthems are underway. We've got the Australian national anthem going on at the moment. Hang on. We might have one website which could be clutching up here a little bit. We do indeed. So New Zealand did get a bonus point. So they're up to 7 points. And Osaka were to get... No, hang on. This is wrong. This is... Oh, that's right. That's right. If we were to win with a bonus point today, we could... I'm confused. New Zealand were on 2 points. Oh, yeah, won with 5 points. If we win with the bonus point, we get up to 9 points. 2 points ahead of New Zealand. So that result, by the way, was 75 points to 21. Yeah, no, it was hectic. I don't know why somebody said 20. Yeah, 75. That's a thumping, hey. Cheap as me. That's quite scary when you think we've got to play them on this weekend. Well, it's also quite scary when you think that that Australia drew. Now, last year, if you go back to the Rugby Championship, we got taken apart, to be honest. We weren't particularly good. So for New Zealand to go 29-29 against Australia and then put 75 points on Argentina, where we only beat Argentina by 11 points, is a little bit scary, but you can't really always compare. You're obviously different teams, lots of rotation and the likes of that. So this over here would set up a final. A win today would set up a final on Sunday, and that's what we want, isn't it? A loss today, look, you could get a bonus point loss and get ourselves into 5 points, for example, which means that Sunday would probably still be a bit of a final, but a win would put us in a good position to try and really take on that Junior All Blacks side. Let's face it, do you think the squad can smash the entire teams, in your opinion? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Again, that is, New Zealand are always the ones to beat, and with them to win against Argentina, very much seem to have very much arrived and put on their intentions out there. So we'll wait and see. Again, it's a bit difficult to call because we've rotated a lot, and because you don't really know what our base under 20 side is. I think this will probably be something closer to what our main side is, although I do think Hashim Peed would be in our strongest side. The game is on Supersport Rugby on 211. I don't know if it's on 201 as well. It is not, because it's IPL followed up by use by Champions League. because there's a semi-finals tonight, which should be quite a lot of fun. And tonight is Inter versus Barcelona. Definitely going to give that a watch later. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping this is a bit close to our best side. And let's see how they go. The Anthers are finished. And we will have kickoff very, very shortly. For the URC, or the TRC under 20. TRC under 20. The Rugby Championship under 20 tournament. That is what it's called. Now, we were very bad in this tournament last year, so the fact that we got that victory against Argentina is already a little bit of a step up from us. And the top try scorers at the moment, Hashim P, only sitting at 6 those 2 tries last week. But let's see what we can get going here. I'm really excited to see Bato Klekani. I mean, he was physically bossing it last year. And, you know, he was a year young, really, for the under-20 group. He was still at school last year. That's right, he was in first year out of school. Now he's very much in the under 20. He's turning 20 this year, so he's now caught up a little bit. And I think that as a result, I think he's going to be even better today. Yeah, it is on Super Sports. I don't know where else it's particularly be shown, and it looks like the Blitzboks will be playing left to right. By the way, keep an eye out for that white scrum cap, who is walking all the way to the back. That is JC Mars, I'd imagine. I can't actually really see the number, but he is always using a yellow scrum caps, or he's usually always wearing a scrum cap, so that would be my guess. Right, there we go. Moyo with ball in hand, just checking that both teams are all okay before we get going. And then we hopefully got it's a nice junior rugby to go. Nice looking player, this Vusi Moyo. Looked very honoured last week. I was very impressed with what I saw from him. And we are underway. He goes down the middle of the park, does Vusi Moyo, and a big chase coming here from Scott. No, it's a big tackle as well. That's a nice start from the Junior Boks, just to really get there. Right, Naughty getting up nice and quickly. A good hit there coming from Ingobezi as well. So nice early pressure, and that's a lot of pressure on the kick coming from Finn Prass into the hands of JC Mars. Now, very exciting. The quick stepping JC Mars, very lateral, needs to straighten a little bit, bounce into one. He's got assistance there in the form of Morne Fent. On the left-hand side, they go. Looking for options, going short. Well, that's very good hands. I thought that somebody might have dropped it. I think it was Lekani, actually, who managed to take that. Now, obviously, training a lot with the Sharks. Yes, but Lekani played a lot of Curry Cup last year, so he should be a different beast now at age group level. One D Matlaba taking it into contact. Quick ball here. Trying to buy that penalty is Keanu Everson. Morne Fent going nice direct, and looks like he almost lost the contact of the ball. Now, but there's space on the left-hand side. They scoop out wide. Malkas comes back inside. Gives it away to Ndlozi, and that ball does eventually feed out. Not terrible that early on from the Junior Boks. Nice continuity. Maybe a little bit lateral at times. Need a bit more go-forward ball, but that'll come. But a nice bright start, and we'll have a line for Australia just outside the 22 on that far-hand side. Right, and we've won the line as well. So Barton Takani, he gets to get a bit of a run now. Look at him go! He's a big carry from him. He's such a physical player. He's an absolute man-mountain, is Barton Takani, especially for his age. He's just so big. Great personality as well. Nice hands for Malkas. Scott Nell taking it. Not the biggest player as Scott Nell. It's a bit different from having Lorenzo Julius there, but I tell you what, he's got a good turn of pace. And penalty early on here for the Blitzboks, for the Junior Boks, and very kickable as well. So interesting to see what they decide to do. Could very simply pop this over and take 3 points here. But Vusi Moyo has been told that he is going to the corner. And onto the 5-meter line, the Junior Boks go. Good carry that's coming here from Herman Lubber. And just the ball being stuck in there as one of the Australian players. Unable to roll. Very easy penalty to award in the end. And now an opportunity as Jean Escuman gets his information to feed the line and try and get a bit of rolling more out 5 meters out. It's a good one. And then, I'll tell you what, that's going to go straight over, isn't it? That's so easy, is it? Are they over? It looked initially good, and they are over. That is the perfect start for the Junior Boks. And I want to say that looks, no, it's actually Kole Enyali who's got the ball. And not too much of celebration coming from the Junior Boks. They're basically just a couple of high fives back to go. They don't mean business. I think the big thing about today for me is making a statement. And it's a good start. I mean, it's all around good rugby. They're more offensive with a good take. Brings it down, and then he just drags himself around as Nyali and goes straight over. And no, your introducer is not qualified to play. He's too old now. He's turning 21 this year. So you have to be turning 20 this year. I might be able to tell you broadcasters. Let me see if I can find the official thing with the broadcasters lists. Give me 2 seconds. I'll see if I can find you. I've got the media list. I don't know if it actually has all the broadcasters. It's usually Stan Sport and the likes of that. I've got the broadcast schedule. I don't know the actual broadcasts, unfortunately. Oh, wait, here we go. But it's a big carry coming from here. It's from Stan, Super Sports, Sky New Zealand, ESPN. So it's all the local broadcasters. So you probably have to VPN it or something similar to try and get it if you're outside those territories, would be my guess. Now, ball over the top there from Moya, and looking to try and keep the ball in hand. Now, this is the very, very exciting Sid Harvey. He's already played at senior sevens level. That's a nice tackle coming from Riley Norton. So straight on the front foot. Their captain, Doyle, met hard in the tackle. Good tackle. Good intensity that's coming from the bits on the Junior Boks. So I'm going to make the mistake the entire afternoon, I think. I've been so into the blitz box over the weekend. Now a little ball bent behind, but it bounces favorably for JC Mars. He's got time to find his clearance. And it looks like a pretty good one as well. Very, very nice clearance, that. Not sure it's the right option really there for Australia. So I think that it's a good start. And it's Australia still backside their own half. They're going with a 5-man lineup now. Ollie Barrett, the man that'll feed and hopefully have a better lineup than he had last time. They don't contest this time to the Junior Boks, just trying to hold up the more, and they eventually go straight to the line-out. It's lost forward immediately, and then lost forward again. It's a really, really poor take from Malakia Inasa. Under no pressure and just completely spilled out of his hands. We'll have our first scrum of the day, which should be quite nice. Right, let's see what we can get from our first scrum of the day. Back inside goes Scott now. I'll tell you what, he's been full of running. He's still going straight through to Scott now. Eventually brought down just short of the 22. Gets the ball up as well. Good work that from Malchus to add support. Now Moyo looking for ball over the top. That's a good one as well. But Kakani finds himself inside. Steps back inside one. Bounce away from another. He's still working hard on the tackles. Barton Kakani. Not somebody that you just bring down one man, really. Back goes Jean Escuman. And that's lost. Is it lost forward? No, still with ball in hand. Yeah, it is eventually lost forward. That's what I thought it might be. Yeah. Just losing it forward in the contact there was Malchus. Pity. It was a nice, promising move there from the Junior Boks. So another scrum over here on the 5 meter line here by the poles. It is Australia feed, but hopefully an opportunity for us trying to have a go here. Big scrum that coming from the box, but to the right hand side. And that's not a bad attempt at a clearance either from Australia. So they get themselves out of harm's way without having to see any points and up towards the halfway line. So the Junior Boks will have to build from deep, but promising signs. They look good so far with ball in hand. They've looked good at the lineup. They look good at scrum time. So at this stage, all stages good. And apparently my timer and my clock are not working, so I'm just going to sort that out very quickly because I'm now on a manual clock. And there we go. And then we'll get there to the end. Yeah, unfortunately, due to being such a bit of a weird tournament, none of the data providers are actually carrying this. So we're having to try and do this on auto. It takes a while for things to set it, but that is not all up to date. So that's pretty much live, inverted commas. Right, Butchakani showing go. Almost gets through a gap. And a penalty now coming for Australia. It's slightly isolated there was Butchakani, so... yeah, so it approached the 10-minute mark. So far, it's pretty strong. So a start from the blitz box. I think they'll be quite chuffed with everything so far. All the coaching staff. Right, Australia now feed the front of the line. It's a good line as well. Pops up. Carried in. And that was the man who knocked it earlier in Nasio, but this time much better. Popping around the corner comes Mangelsdorf, the big lock. First real big test of the defense here. And there's a bit of space out wide. Decided to come inside, did Australia. Not sure that was the bad option, to be perfectly honest. Now back to Doyle, the captain. Junior Boks defense so far holding up well. Skuman and Yali making a nice tackle. No real progress so far from Australia. Now it's a nice tackle coming from Malchus. What's a big hit coming from them in the Junior Boks, showing their physicality. Now a bit of space. Oh, jeepers, he just sat one down. Eventually brought down inside the 22 is Joe Mangelsdorf. And when JC Mars with the kicking becomes behind, and that'll just be dabbed down from Cheswell Yoster. I tell you what, I think it was... I want to say it could have been Yoster actually, or Malchus, who got sat down by Trevor King. It was a huge hit, which usually often happens when a tight end comes up against a wing. So not really, can't really expect the wing to do much more than that. But keepers me, he did get absolutely punished. Well, just sends it downfield and pops up, and this is going to be Bowen Marison who's going to run into contact. Bounce off Skuman. No, in fact, he bounced off Laba and eventually brought down by Skuman. Pick up and go. Almost catches them unawares, but the ball pops it to the side. Not forward, though, says the referee. Going through the phases here, Australia, as we approach 12-minute mark. Good tackle there. Mangelsdorf being brought down by Norton. He ran a good line. Yeah, so far, decent defense this year from the Junior Boks. Oh, but he comes back inside. And Astio, and brought down by Bartolacani. Now, hands, almost a bit of obstruction then. The ball actually goes out, so it ended up being a line out. I think if it had gone to hand, then there would have been... I think probably would have been a penalty for obstruction, to be honest. So we have another scrum. It's going with the knock-on as the call from the referee. And there you go. Feeds it. Does that's a big scrum from Everson. Penalty advantage does come for the Junior Boks. Malchus goes to Moya. Moya looking for the cross kick. Puts into a bit of space, really. Now back inside. Looking good. Yeah, that's a really good line being run as well. Eventually brought down. Into the Australia half goes the Junior Boks. Sion Dlozi. But is completely isolated, and Australia do win the penalty. That's frustrating to have a break like that and not have enough players to get there to retain possession. Not the worst cross kick, just basically kick into the space, and as it bounces up, you've got a bit of time, there's Dlozi, and then bang, steps back inside, and then puts the afterburners on. It's a good tackle on the end from Inacio. And then just knowing Malchus was actually more looking for the offload rather than going into the ruck. So maybe a bit of an experience showing there. And just blow from the whistle. He's not happy with where the line of the rest of the backline is. In terms of the bonus point, as far as I understand, that's a skew from Australia. As far as I understand, it's 3 tries more than your opponent. That's the Rugby Championship rule, so I assume it's similar. We never actually really got a press release with all the different rules and stuff like that. Finding it's not particularly easy either. So not ideal, but that would be my assumption. It's difficult as well when you look at this New Zealand scoring, 50 points more than Argentina. That doesn't really give us much insight as to why they got one. Because it could have been for absolutely anything, basically. They could have been scoring 7 tries and they would have gotten a bonus point. Jordan Matua saying my homeboy Everson is playing. That's what I really enjoy about covering these junior games. That you get people who actually know the people, are far more invested, who tune into the stream. So welcome. He's actually had a decent start here, to be honest, and not an easy position to be in the Junior Boks side when you've got the likes of Hashim P, you had Asan Moose over the last few years as well. Blessed, lots of good scrum halves coming through the Junior Boks, and another big penalty coming from the scrum as Vusi Moya puts us further downfield. At this stage, Boks dominating physically, and that's a good sign for any rugby team. It makes you smile a lot when it's a South African team. When you're even a young South African team, when they start to physically dominate, you get a little bit of a smirk, maybe, I think, creeps in, because that's just, it's in our DNA, isn't it? And 15 minutes played so far. Right, full line out here, from the looks of it. In fact, no, it's a 6-man. 5-man line in the end. Looked like more people eventually. Going for the Roddy Moore here, although the Junior Boks, looking pretty good as well. Schoolman eventually gets the ball back. Everson's there in case we need to use it, which I think we are going to try and do. This is straight through the middle, says the ref. Need to get this ball out now, do the Junior Boks. As this goes down now, it'll be turnover ball. And it is starting to go down. Junior Klekani comes in to try and get the ball with the ball out. And that's going to be turnover, I think. No, penalty, in fact, actually, initially, it looked like it was going to be turnover ball because I think they'd come through the middle. But then, when they brought it down eventually, they did that illegally. And therefore, a penalty for the Junior Boks. And I'm going to sneeze. Yeah, I'm back. Hopefully the muting worked, so you didn't actually have to hear that. But, yes. Going to the corner here. Right, 10 meters out here, the Junior Boks, and Skuman will feed. The call coming in from Gingubeze. Exciting young Lou said. They go to Moya Fenta, as they did in the last one. This time, much bigger shove early on from Australia, but the Junior Boks trying to work it around. In fact, he's actually burst out. He's just short there. I think that's Sinyali once again. Everson looking for options here. McClarber, number 8, brought down. pick up and go from Skuman, but he's left the ball behind. But there's a penalty advantage. So we'll have another go here. Looking very, very promising. But Connie leaves it behind, and it's knocked on. I don't think we need to take that quickly, people. I don't think we need to take that quickly. Don't think that was the right option there from Batu. Right, so scrum now, 5 minutes up. Junior Boks, I think, need to be a bit more patient, to be honest. They're dominating most of the season, but maybe just a little bit over enthusiastic at times. Right, so 15 minutes since we last scored. That clock is up to date, so we are approaching the 20-minute mark. Another big scrum coming. I think that's actually skewed off his boot, so I don't think it's gone as far as I'd like. I think we'd actually still have it line inside the 22, which is a nice result. Yeah, it is. It's going to be well inside the 22. So a big opportunity this year for Junior Boks. Need to try and capitalize here. We've actually had some momentum. We haven't really, in fact, time off. So let me get that our timer going off as well. So ref's mic is down currently. So hopefully ready to go there. Speaking Gomez has relayed the message. We still got medic stuff on the field though, as well as the referee still being sorted out. So, bit of break and play, right, people? What are we saying so far? How are we feeling about this? I'm quite liking what I'm seeing. I'm actually very impressed with what I'm seeing so far from the Junior Boks. They've looked very physically on it. I think Australia struggling to cope with that. I think my frustration is the fact that we're only 7-0 up. Australia made 126 ball carries against New Zealand, the most in round one. With Boston Fakafanua making 15 of those. He'll be coming on the second half. So a player to watch out for from Australia. So far, has also actually been 21 defenders in the opening round. And Cheswell Euster contributed a lot of those. And so watch out for him in the number 14 jersey. But so far, I can't actually really fault any of the under-20 players so far. I'd like to see a bit more of Dominic Malkas, a nice player to watch. But that's and as I say that, the ball goes over it from Jean Skuman, and it's skew as well. We'll have to go back for the scrum. So a bit of commentator's curse there, because I think until then we've been pretty good and not made too many mistakes. That is a mistake though coming from Jean Skuman as he's thrown it straight over the top of his jumper, and it has gone skew in the process. So we'll have a scrum inside the 22. Not the worst result given how a scrum has looked. But possession side of 22 could have led for an try scoring opportunity. So we've actually been butchering a few. So not being clinical, and that's probably about the only real big issue I've got so far. But I'm seeing a lot of new faces in the, well, not new names, I suppose, is probably the right expression in the chat. So if you are new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. And do like the stream as well. Sitting on just a miserably 10 likes, we can definitely get those kind of numbers up. And yeah, if you are new to the channel, then jump in. And I'm going to fix our clock so they can get going again. And straight to Invarsio. It's a good tackle, though. Now, a bit of pressure on Australia number 10, Finn Press. And he launches what looks like a pretty good kick, in fairness. That's a very, very good kick. It'll still be in Australia's half, so not entirely out of into Junior Boks territory, but it's a nice clearance coming from the Australian number 10. And the Junior Boks, now, you give him a ball in hand. I think that's maybe also something that we need to work on a little bit. Just keep a bit more ball in hand. And there we go. So after that big carry, Malachi Inacio, the number 12, has stayed down. So that could be a change. We could see Boston Fakafua Nua come on, who's a very, very talented young player. So the timer is stopped. A couple of stoppages here in a short space of time. Bandito saying the juniors will really do well when they get older for rugby. Well, this is always the interesting thing, is that obviously your body will progress. And, physically you'll get a lot better, a lot stronger, and you'll get more experience. So the big thing I think people are looking at now is, your skill set, for example, your awareness as well, your rugby awareness. How ready are you for the professional game? Physically, some of these players are very far off what they will become. I mean, you look at Bart Kakani, for example. I mean, he's quite the opposite. He's absolutely massive. And he probably won't grow much more, for example. And, I mean, he's ready to play senior rugby. But some of these players will not necessarily be at that sort of size. And I remember watching PSP Lazy when he first came through, and he wasn't massive in junior seb. Now, he is going to go off in fourth year, is in this year. The big tail coming from Vusi Moore, as well as a hit coming from, I think it was actually Everson who made it. So off he goes. Just want to have confirmation that it is Whakanua. Yeah, Whakafanua is on. So, and it's a skew line out once again. Lots of commentators curse now for starting to creep in, because I was talking about the fact that we hadn't been making a lot of mistakes, and now we've got 2 skew lineouts in a row. So needs to fix that, does Jean Descuman. It will be a feat for Australia with 80 minutes to go before half time. Just need to tighten up a little bit now. Yeah, it's another good-looking scrum, yeah, and they do use it. And not much space in behind, so he just puts it in behind, does Huey Sharples. Now space for Ndlozi to run it out. And I'll tell you what, about to say, as I was going to say, that once again, the one area that I think the Junior Boks have been pretty poor at today has been the breakdown. Or rather, Australia's been very good at the breakdown. I mean, two ways looking at it, really. But I think that's at least the third or fourth breakdown penalty Australia have won. And once again, it's just too slow to arrive, really. Riley Norton eventually arrives, but the damage is done. Players are already over the ball. That was the weirdest kick in behind. Like, they just tried to chip and chase inside the 22. And Lawsy just base steps aside and just marked it. I think everyone was pretty surprised, that, including in Lawsy when he did mark it. Now Vusi Moya just pumps that downfield. It's a good-looking kick as well. I'm quite liking what I see from Vusi Moya. He's got quite a useful boot. Up toward the 10-meter line, so or if the touch judge ever stops moving, just before the 10 meters, really, where he's finished up. And not a bad clearance there in the end. Long pass out wide. Bit of space now. Conway comes back inside. Brought down. Just pull the 22. Looking a bit more promising from Australia. Junior Boks defense can be tested now. Delayed pass allows JC Mars to get up on Conway, and he's driven right towards the touchline. He manages to stay inside. Lost a bit of momentum, though, have Australia. Now it's a big carry coming that from Cleverly on the right-hand side. Numbers. Good tackle there coming from Batu. A penalty advantage for offside, I think it is. Yeah, offside is the call. So, interesting decision here from Australia. I tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually looked at taking the points here. They're going to kick towards the goal. But given the fact that we haven't had any points in about 20 minutes odd, I'll be tempted to actually put that over. So instead, they're going to go for touch. Not a phenomenal touch find. That's inside the 22, but going for safety rather than trying to get right up the gear. And a bit of treatment happening on Luke Cleverly. It was a nice big carry coming from him. But, yeah, so Batu himself was the one who just went slightly early. Doesn't need to either. It's not like he's not a small lad that needs to try and get ahead of the game. Right, so another start of the clock here. So you can just stop that there. Right, I want to get a poll going up here. And it's an interesting poll actually, I think. What is important to you at under 20 level? Team's performance or individual's performance? I know my preference. I know what I'm going to vote. Well, if I could vote, would vote for. I'm interested to see what you guys say. When you guys watch these, are we watching this to see how the team looks? Luke Cleverly, by the way, is going off. So that's 2 Australian players injured in the first half. And there is the danger man. Boston Whakafanua. This is very well worked from Australia. As he gets back inside. In the 22, they go down the left-hand side. And now knocked forward. Voyo secures it, but a bit of pressure on him. And we will be able to get this back. It goes back to JC Mars. He's about time, and he puts the kick in behind to JC Mars. And does he find touch? He does find touch. And nobody really around for Sid Harvey to try and use quickly. So that's the poll. What are we looking at when you watch these games? Are we talking about how well the team plays, or are we watching individuals and seeing how individuals play? Like, is it really important for us to go and win tournaments, or is this more about unearthing future stars, you know? Oh, that's a bit of a... I'll tell you what, that's a bit of a fortuitous loss. And I'll tell you what, has he got the pace? Has he got the pace? It lures into the corner. He does indeed. I tell you what, it's such an interesting riding style. It doesn't look... He's got quite small steps with the way it takes. But on counter-attack, they've managed to basically intercept the ball. He's gone all the way to the corner. And the Junior Boks have scored a second. Sia and Glawsy, well, once he had a bit of space, a clean set of heels, and off he went. Almost just too complicated. And behind the man, and then on the bounce, bounces perfectly for him as well. Gets away from one, steps away from another. It's a very smooth, it's a very upright running style. I think maybe that's why it doesn't look like he's absolutely rapid. But he left everybody else behind. Nobody came and touched him. So that's a really good try from the Junior Boks. And nice to finally get over a second one. Ram says, it's a team sport. These are the best young players from a country with a school rugby system that borders on being professional. They should all have talent. So I go for a team performance in terms of 2-11 is the channel. See, so I'm going to be controversial. It's not that I don't care about them winning. You know, obviously I want to win. And it's really good to see. And we should be winning a lot more. I think I enjoy watching the individuals more than I enjoy watching the team. I think it's really cool when it's a well-coached team, and obviously we get the results. But I think when I watch this, what I really get excited about is the future stars. Is seeing, oh, hang on, that player is going to be something special. So that's why I've never been that affected if we don't win under 20 championships. Look, I say that now until we get to the World Rugby Championship, we get to the final, we lose. I'll be a very grumpy man. But I think I just get more enjoyment, especially out of these sort of games, of looking at the next generation. Like something like Vusi Moyo, as he feels the little chip chase over the top from Australia from the kickoff for 2022. You watch him and you look at him, he looks quite mature. He looks like a very talented flower half. You think, ooh, that's exciting. And then you go and find out, right, where's he at? Has he played at that level? Who's he contracted to? And I think I really enjoy looking at that side of things. I think that's really exciting for me. Right, and going with a quick last throw, I have Australia back into the hands of Vusi Moyo, who maybe one of the reasons it does excite me is that he's at the Lions and looks a real talent. And we also had a flower from last year as well. And we actually got two in this hook in the squad. I think Matthew could see is also at the Lions. So, and that's a position the Lions need players in. So then you look at something like a JC Mars, for example, and how is he going to be the next big Stormer sensation? You look at Bartu Klakani, is he going to be the next Shark sensation? So I think I get more enjoyment out of identifying the future stars than the overall team results. But I think once we get to the World Championship, I'll probably be a bit more results orientated. But he says we all want them to win and to do well. That's all that matters for us. Yeah, well, at the end of the day, we just want to see these guys take the next step up, don't we? And want to see make sure our next generation of Springboks, first of all, look the part. As I get my clock sorted, I hate doing this manual clock. It drives me up the wall. But also that we've... Oh, that's a nice tackle. That's too much. I think that's actually perfect. He's going to stay in. He does keep it in. Does very, very well going back there, doesn't Lawsy? Back to JC Mars. Not the best kick, I don't think. I think it's skewed quite left of his boots. So it's not ideal from JC Mars. 14, and then the score is going to update eventually. Oh, that's a bit of a nice move. And Lawsy has to make a good tackle. Does make a good tackle. Australia now 10 meters out. It's good going through the motions here, but it's looking promising. Oh, bit of a fumble there. Now to the right-hand side. And then they've knocked it. They've done it twice now, Australia. They've done exactly that, where they've had a few big carries and the likes of that, and then they've lost it forward. It's just another basic area. I tell you, if I was an Australian supporter, I'd be doing my flipping head in with the amount of basic errors they've made. That's a nice looking scrum. There's a penalty once again. And we're going to see yellow card as well. I think that was always coming, to be fair. And it had to almost come to a certain degree because there were just too many consecutive penalties. So the scrum does come. I need to get a yellow card onto that. There we go. Yellow card for Australia, down to 14 men, and the Junior Boks need to make this count. We can score another one before half time, going to the break with some really, really strong momentum. That would be ideal. And a bit of a kick chase here, Vusi Moyo, and now goes back to JC Mars to receive the reply from Australia. Back inside, Moyo. Yeah, I think Australia just going to... Yeah, they're looking to play a bit of a territory game. It's amazing how they've already gone to quite conservative with that yellow card. Just playing a bit of a territory game. That's a good carry. That's a good tackle coming from Inyala. Ball back inside. Keeping chase, and thankfully it's knocked forward. JC Mars dies in the end. I tell you what, if Australia start catching this and they can see the penalty and trying to play the ball on the ground, if Australia start catching a few of these little chip over the tops, the Junior Boks could be in a bit of trouble. Thankfully, at the moment, they're not. So, long may that kind of continue. Mango Blizzard saying Bok Junior is winning the physical battle. Brahma Zeta says we're always more physical than the Aussies at every. We don't always beat them though. Well, that's the thing. At this stage, we're starting to at least make it count. The question is, can we sustain this over the full 80? It's a nice carry they're coming from Inyali. I'm liking what I see from him, actually. He's been everywhere so far this first half. It's good clearance they're coming from Vusi Moyo as well. And once again, goes back to the hands of Moyo. He's got JC Mars next to him, but he'll take on the responsibility himself. And at the moment, he's doing a bit of a kick battle, to be honest. And this is because of that yellow card. Do, 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 do. Right, line here for Australia. And the Junior Boks do compete, but it eventually falls back to the men in gold. A little chip over the top. They've obviously identified that as somewhere where they can actually try and go for it. JC Mars goes up and I think he actually clips his own man. Gets brought down. I don't see too much JC Mars with the ball in hand. He's done very well there. Everson goes short. And that's almost through from Mclava. Back and they go. Now Moyo goes to the boot. Needs to give us a good chase here. It's allowed to bounce. It's a terrible idea. And he's, well, someone's, I think that's Scott Nell's gotten there. A little bit passive maybe from Adlozia. Probably could have got his hands on that ball a little bit sooner. All the way back by the 22. This will be a good opportunity for the Junior Boks to try and force a mistake. Get one last opportunity to have a go at Australia before half time. Australia keeping the ball in hand as they go to Ollie Barrett. And they go back to Finn Press. And he's decided to keep this in. Right, this is where JC Mars can be very exciting. He's looking to run as well. Gets away from one. Brought down by another. That man is not... yeah, I was about to say, he's not supporting his body weight. Penalty advantage here. Nice run being run by Herman Lubber. Good line from the tight head. William goes inside. And a bit of space there for Everson. Straight through. Looking for options. Oh, it's a big hit. Okay, he get the offload away, but into the wrong hands. And penalty is how's the penalty advantage, but he gets to the back of the way. Riley Norton with the ball. Working hard to bring it down. Junior Boks, 10 meters out. Schoolman's just spilt it. That's terrible. That's awful. And then penalty coming from that. But John Schoolman, you can't be dropping that. Cannot be dropping that. That would have been, could have been try time. Should have been try time. Frustrating, because, yeah, we need a score before half time would have been pretty perfect. One of the players down, getting, just stretching out a little bit. That's Nyali. I've impressed them in the first half. Scored the first try. It's another player down, by the way. It looks like an HRA. And if I'm not mistaken, that actually looks like Boston Whakafanua, who's replaced No, it's not. So over here, as it goes there, just leaves it forward. Schoolman should not be dropping that. He should not be dropping that at all. Little bit sloppy in the last few minutes. Yeah, could have had an opportunity to have another go. One final go. All right, and they do eventually get going and find touch here to Australia. Come on, let's see if we can try and turn over the ball over here. We've got less than a minute on the clock here. Australia have done very well to just wind the clock down, but we have won the line out. And he's tell you what, he's quite a slippery customer here, is Keanu Everson. Norton. Nice space. Moyo goes to Malchas, who almost loses forward, eventually holds on. Just short of the 22. Yeah, one last go here for the Junior Boks with 20 seconds left on the clock. Almost hit to behind it at home and lover, but manages to hold on. He has a penalty advantage. You're going to go for the drop call here, is Vusi Moyo. I think he'll slide to the right hand side. We'll go back for the penalty. Decision time now will be interesting. Could take the 3 points, going 17-0. I think worth going to the corner. I think Ryan Norton's getting a bit of feedback from his team, but he's decided he's going to go for the 3 points. Tommy says South African handling skills have never been the best. I think this is something we should really be focusing on in schoolboy rugby, really drill it. And Terry G, who's a member of the channel, says, like watching the individual performance as it highlights who to watch out when they take a step up. So thank you, Terry, for jumping in. Thank you for being a member, by the way. If you'd like to support the channel, become a member. There is the link in the pinned comment as well as in the description. Really do appreciate it. And we've actually decided to turn down the opportunity to go for polls, and we're going to the corner. Moyo says, no. So we are actually going for the corner here. I like that. I think it's a good idea. Okay, Bart comes back in. So it looks like a 6-man lineout. The Eastern Nail of John Doe Schoolman. He's tapped a couple of lineouts recently. They got him on a fenter. Looking for the rolling Moya. They're out up against the touchline, and they do somebody. Oh, they're over! And I want to say it's Inyali once again. No, it's not. Could it be Is it Ngobezi? I think it is Simon Ngobezi who's got over. Or is it Mlaba? It's Mlaba who's over. So that's no, it is. It is Nyali. So that's the second try in the match. I tell you, it's like a whole little pre-worked. And once again, this time they go down the blind side, the short side, and they're over. It's a good line in the end. It's perfectly taken. And just the hit, they just peel off, and Riley Norton works through hard just to create that half a gap and then burst through to Nyali right in front. And yeah, listen, Pratt's not going to stop him from that sort of distance. So 42 minutes gone. We're into the red, and the kick to come for Vusi Moyo, 19 points to 0 at halftime, at least, hoping to do it. Oh, no, we're going to have a TMO intervention here. Oh, goodness me. Oh, dear. Might have a really look here. Crystal was saying, quite an interesting question. It should be about the team, but it is the individual performances which defines the team. Also an interesting way of looking about it. You know, in theory, if everybody's individual performances are good, the team benefits. So we make a good point there. We are having a look here. I think probably I'd imagine a potential obstruction. Could be my only thing I can think of at this stage. So we're having a look at potential obstruction here. I think probably the issue is that Blaba and Riley Norton basically peel off to the right-hand side. Is that obstruction? Has there been a change in direction? Where is the ball here? I think that's also, there's quite a lot to actually go through here, to be honest. We go right to the back. If this is going to be ruled out because Jonas Kuman's not on the line, that's going to be awful. I'm confused. Is that what I think we actually might be looking at this at where his feet are? No, we're looking at Gubese being in front of where the... Yo, this is very marginal. So basically we're looking at potential obstruction here. Is Gubese ahead of... Yeah, probably. Would be my guess. Yeah, I think he's in front of the jumper. So I think this is going to be chalked out, unfortunately. Then we're going to go in at 14-0, which is a bit frustrating. Be penalty to South Africa, and Oz will just tap it and kick it off. Right, half time. 14 points to 0. Frustrating as a 21 or 19-0 would have been a really, really good half. 14-0 is not bad, but at 14-0, Australia still with a chance. At 21-0, you start thinking that they're a bit more sort of dead and buried. Why don't Maziga just tap this and pop it out? Let's see. They do exactly that. Right. We'll be back very, very shortly. People, don't go away. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And we will see you guys in a little bit.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
Right, apologies for that, people. So we missed a slight few minutes over there and a penalty, but we are good to go. It was a bit of issues there, just with certain things not working. But yeah, this is the problem with these smaller tournaments. They're not automatic scores and the whole things, but we are live. And that'll probably make me sound a little bit better as well. And the perfect start ready for the Junior Boks as Australia get themselves back to full contingent, but they are further 3 points down. And that should update very shortly. That tell you, just over. It looked like a brilliant 50-22 attempt, but it's gone too far, unfortunately. He's had a good game so far, has Moya, but that time's overcooking it slightly. Bit of a mistake that for him, but it was a good penalty early on. I tell you what, I thought that John Schumann was over that. Yeah, that's pretty good from Australia to put the pressure on the Junior Boks. So the line starts out at 22. couple of replacements here. I mean, it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it, to wait to put players back on for like 4 minutes and then make a change. But they have made a change. Ingobase has been replaced as well as a Lubber. So the two props are junior props. More Fenter goes up and takes well. Running hard, there's Nyali. We're kicking over the top there, a bit of pressure there. And a penalty for offside. Blitz, I mean, the Junior Boks just getting sloppy all of a sudden. Very, very sloppy. And Dominic Malchus there, I think apparently is straight offside. Frustrating. Should be doing better. Should Malchus really. No need to be straying offside there. Bit of cramp there popping up as well for a couple of players. They look a lot better coming out, actually, in fairness, has of Australia. Another penalty advantage coming from Australia. So they started the half really well, you have the away side. And they came back to beat, well, to draw, not beat, draw against the All Blacks. So they're not a side that goes away, the Junior Wallabies. But that's been ripped in the tackle, but unfortunately the penalty advantage to go back for the penalty. It was a good rip, actually, from Bartlekane. They're scrambling here, the Junior Boks, and a lot of pressure. The more 5 meters out here. Australia looking good to try and get their first points of the game. And they get through, and it's the captain, actually, Doyle, who goes over. And it's been coming. They've started well, and they've not capitalized. That's really good work there. Initially by Australia, set up really well. And then once they've got it set up, yeah, Doyle just comes through the middle, actually. No one's really, I think, paying attention, I think, to be honest. And straight through. So frustrating a little bit, I think, actually. Probably could have been prevented. Go to some of the comments, though. Tabiso saying, Lance, no problem for us, but we are looking good. Scott Dawson says, 75-21 to the Baby Blacks. Yep. And Tabiso says, so Patrick says, where are the Cape Wikis? No wonder our backline is nowhere. Well, JC Mars is from the Cape. And Imagination Free says, Ryan Norton is excellent at both cricket and rugby. Multi-hand like Gus Gibbs and AB. Right, so Australia have officially hit back, 17 points to 7. And now all of a sudden, playing with the tails up, I think is probably the best way of describing. He's looking a bit Sawyer's voicey more. I don't think we'll see him much more of him. But a cramp, I think, setting in, which is a bit frustrating. As he took this kick over here. Oh, I think his ankle just caught slightly inside the ground there. Hopefully nothing too serious. It's a good line out coming from Junior Boks. Much better. Front foot ball for the first time and almost coming through as Mlaba. But once again, Australia at the breakdown winning the penalty. You'd surely think that was something that they discussed a lot. And taking it quickly, there is, yeah, they're doing well here. Australia all of a sudden have their tails up. And it's a nice move to go inside, but there's just nobody anywhere near. And it's far too easy to get them off the ball. It's sloppy. It's sloppy. I think that's probably the best way of describing it. The Junior Boks come through, got that 3 points. But since then, they've done very little right so far this half. So it's not really good enough. And need to just tighten things up. Ideally, need to try and get a try on the board. Just try and well, that'll help Australia losing the ball forward. They've done that a lot, actually, of Australia. Lost the ball forward in the second phase as they're trying to sort of attack that Junior Boks defense. Thankfully for the Junior Boks. Right, scrum here for the Junior Boks. Opportunity to try and get themselves another penalty, and it's looking pretty good. Yeah, there goes the arm. And now Everson goes to the right-hand side. Moyo. Scott Nell. I'll tell you what, that's Hazel Houston. Look at the pace. Look at the pace from Houston. Options. Keeps it himself. We're all inside Australia territory. Back to Mlaba. Cheswell Houston. What a prospect he looks. Now, More Fenter. He might actually just straighten you. Wasn't really expecting that, I think, was Nkosi there. Now, Skuman, slow ball this time for Everson. To the right-hand side, back on the angle goes Riley Norton, the captain. Moyo, looking for options. Goes JC Mars. JC Mars steps back inside. Bit of an ankle breaker. And that ball goes through the hands. And the turnover ball. Now it could be the chase, could be on you. And I'll tell you what, Conway's got plenty of pace. But as does Cheswell Yoster, he gets back there first and manages to stand up. He's done brilliantly there, both on attack and defense. Has Cheswell Yoster. They need to get that ball back here to the Junior Boks. And eventually does come for Everson. And he needs a couple of phases to get a couple of his kickers up. Nice carry that coming from Oliver Reed. And now he'll go to the boss kick here with Everson. We're end-to-end stuff there. I'll tell you what, Cheswell Yoster has got pace to burn. Need to see a bit more of him. That's a brilliantly timed tackle coming from Dominic Malchus. It's a bit of a poor pass, but well hung on in the end by Ollie Alma. Lots of Australian players on in the first half, so it'll be interesting to see how the conditioning is looking now. Lots of injuries so far this match. That's a nice tackle. Junior Boks halting the Australia's progression. Now ball over the top, but gets a half a hand on it, and I think that's very forward. So I think we'll go back for the forward out the hands of the Australian player. Actually, I think it'll be a South African scrum. A little bit everywhere at the moment. Yeah, it definitely goes backwards off the hands of Siad Lozi. And then it goes forward from the Australian stand. So it'll be a Junior Boks scrum as the timer gets called. The clock goes off. A couple of running repairs. Yeah, I think it's Oliver Reed is down against some repairs on his boot. Well, I'm quite impressed by the two new props who just come in. Oliver Reed and Johnny Erasmus have looked very good at scrum time so far, so they'll be relishing this opportunity to have a go. Tell you what, Riley Norton looks a special prospect. Barking on instructions, you can see everyone's very aligned. Him, the likes of Barton Kakani, very much senior players in that pack. Right, and Hill's on for Baxter for Australia, so they'll see if that maybe might stop some of the scrummaging decimation at the moment. It's a very good scrum from Australia, but they do get a penalty, the Junior Boks, for standing up as the call against Australia. So very much winning the scrum battle. That looked like a much better hit from Australia, but illegal, says the referee, which could obviously explain the dominance that they actually had in the end. But that's the first hit where I feel like Australia haven't looked terrible, but you can just see, I think it's... Yeah, I think it's on the loose head side there from Australia. It just goes down and bringing the player down. It's a good kick as well from Vusi Moya. So just short of the 22 here. 54 minutes played. Got to score a try and just reassert the momentum, I think, is probably the main sort of focus right now. More defender. That's a massive only more hit so far. John Deskuman as well. I think he's going to go around the corner by himself. Does go around the corner himself. Very good work this from the Junior Boks. They're 10 meters out. Digging for the ball is Everson. It goes back to Moya. Moya's going to go for the cross kick. It's just too much. Just too much on it. Trying to find Chesil Eusta on the outside. They had a cross kick that was much better early on as Vusi Moya. Slightly inaccurate that time. I think it was the worst option, just badly executed in the end from the fly half. There's lots of space, and you can see, and also he kind of went for quite like a lofted one as opposed to sort of that low hard sort of option. You obviously might Liebach do that, where it's a bit more of a kick pass as opposed to a cross kick. Right, 4-man larger for Australia. Not the best, but they do win it. Oh, that's a huge shit. Jeepers me. Skuman's going through as the charge down and a bit of pressure. Now, we'll be interested to see, will they potentially take it quickly here? They do take it quickly. Vusi Moya looks a bit of a baller, actually. JC Mars. Bit of pressure there. Ball available. Pick up and go here from Laba. Reed. Stops in his tracks to the left-hand side. They will work it once again. Bielis just come on, and that's his first carry. Back in the pocket is Vusi Moya. Goes down. I think he's turned his ankle once again there, by the way. Oh, he spilt it there as Harry Sidwell. So I said Harvey, and he got a space there. Just said Harvey. He puts the kick in behind. And we've got a player down. Vusi Moya can barely walk. JC Mars is going to go all the way back. And he's going to try to get away from him. He's going to bundle into touch. Yeah, it's not a great result for the Junior Boks. All the way backside the 22, but Vusi Moya has gone down. He's in a lot of pain here. I don't know if it's cramp. Yeah, it looks like it's just cramp from Vusi Moya, but you can see as he kicks this, he just crumbles. No, it's just cramp. He's got like the shaky legs there. Yeah, no, he's completely... It's just cramped there. Yeah, that looks horrible. Been there, mate. Been there. Right, we're going to have a change in 10 then. So Carl Smith will come on. Will be my guess. Pat says, 10 unfit, sorry, he looks overweight. Look, I think it's a big shout, considering we've watched all of one game of his. And he had a very good first half, and he changed the game last game. So I'm definitely not going to throw out accusations like that. Yep. Bit of a sketchy one. I think it's gone... no, it's fine. More Fenter goes on a run. Back inside. Now a bit of space for Dominic Malkas. I guess for the halfway line. Much better this from the Junior Boks. Norton arrives and leaves the ball behind. A little drift forward. No, says the referee. Yes, he does eventually. Does eventually. Right, so Carl Smith will come on, the Western Province at number 10. So a couple of new faces on so far in the second half for the Blitzboks, Junior Boks, doing it all day. Includes now Carl Smith, Tando Bayela, Jean Erasmus, and Oliver Reed. So still got HB Boerdendal, Neil Hansen, and Ulrich Visser to come on a little bit later. Riley Norton represented South Africa in the 2024 Under 19 Cricket World Cup. Such a talented sportsman. I'm surprised he's gone the rugby route, to be perfectly honest. I would have gone the cricket route. I think you play it for a lot longer, you earn a lot more money. It's a bit of a more safer one, I think, in terms of injuries and the likes of that. I think it's a lower risk, higher reward career path, if you ask me. But yeah, he's gone the rugby route, which is fair. I mean, again, if you've got the talent to do both, what a pleasure. If you want a World Cup, he's definitely gone the right way. Oh, half a gap there, but they do scramble. Straight on the front foot. They pretty much got their entire bench out there. They've had lots of injuries so far in this game, have Australia. And that'll mean that, that's just been bored there. Ryan Norton trying to run back, and they've bought that penalty off from just throwing the ball into him. Robert says, just tune in, our box set pieces better. The scrums are perfect. We can't complain at all about the scrums. Scrums have been dominant throughout the entire game, continue to be dominant. The lineouts, we had a bit of a shaky period, but have generally been all right since then. So far in the second half, we haven't had a bad lineout, and we had a couple of good ones early on. In fact, the first trial was early more. But 10 penalties conceded now for the Junior Boks. That's something to worry about with 20 minutes left on the clock, and needs to try and just clean up the discipline a little bit. And just feeding far too many penalties. Now, inside ball there. Set move just short. Morne Fenter making an important tackle there, but Australia and 20s are on the front foot here. Malchus gets up quickly to make that tackle. Good momentum here from the men in gold. Show goes at almost a half obstruction. Pick up and go once again. Just short. Is he over? Have we managed to hold him up? Was he going to be recycled? There's a dart there from James Martin to replace the scrum up, but the ball's available once again. I think just short once again. Oh shit, it's crawling. Oh, it's been awarded. It's been awarded, and this is what I was worried about. The momentum from the Aussies is going to start to rack up. They have scored a try, and they're now within 5 points. Yeah, they've been looking good of Australia, and I think the Junior Boks just took the sort of the foot of the pedal, and they need to be a bit careful here because the kick now to make it a 3-point game. It's a great first attack from Morne Fenter. And Jean Skuman then, and Riley Norton, unable to keep him out. There's a player down as well. I think it's an Australian player, judging by the medics. Yeah, no issue with the kick. Right, 17 points to 14. We have a proper game on our hand. We did see Australia come from behind to draw with New Zealand last week, Thursday. And this is why my sort of frustration has been, is we felt like we haven't really put the game away. And I feel like we could have put the game away. We've had opportunities to put the game away. We haven't really taken them. And now we're in a little bit of trouble. Right, so Carl Smith's first thing will be to chip this down the middle. We'll be able to win that back. That's well taken in the end, actually, from Xavier Williams. We've seen very little of him today. The Aussie number 13. Right, kicking behind. JC Miles, a bit of space. Come on, JC. Let's see a bit of that fancy footwork. He's also battling now, JC Miles. What is going on with these lads? Did we have too much of an intense session over the weekend? Malchus. He's limping there, JC Miles. He's trying to get back. I don't know if that's a cramp or if he's just literally figured injured. Carl Smith, anyway, lifts it up to Chase. I think Chase will lure us after it. In and on flower half as well for Aussies is Joey Fowler. And a bit of space on the left-hand side. Someone needs to make themselves. Carl Smith, well, it doesn't make the tackle, but it allows Malcolm. I'll tell you what, that's a good pass. That's a really good pass as well to Doyle. Doyle, 5 meters out here. Australia with a lot of momentum and a lot of Junior Boks of arriving. Now ball on the top. He holds on to it. He gets run over there. I'll tell you what, and they're over. in the chaos they're over. That is absolutely awful from the Junior Boks, and they look absolutely dead on their feet. I don't know what's happened, but literally the last few minutes, all of a sudden we've got players who are cramping up. Is it a group conditioning thing? Is it just the way the Aussies have suddenly played the second half, but we're really behind the game here? A couple of fortuitous bounces in the build-up, but it's just like a tackle like that. I don't know who got to run over there, but that's not good enough. All right, Sid Harvey's 2 from 2 so far. The fullback. And for the first time in the game, Australia are ahead, and now they are 4 points ahead. Got to respond now. Go back to basics is what I say. Go back to the scrums. Try and get your line sorted. In broken play, yeah, he's got a good amount of pace, but that's the second or third time I think Sia Lawsy's been found wanting on defense. It's going to go quite short from the kickoff. It's a good take there from Boston Fakafanua. Back in the pocket. JC Mars back up and looks alright. He doesn't look quite alright, to be honest. Yeah, he's not even going to chase that. I don't think he's happy. Is JC Mars. I'm in quite a position there. That ball needs to hold up. It does hold up. Carl Smith under a bit of pressure. Carl Smith finds a kick, but I tell you, the Junior Boks just don't look like they're coping at the moment. It's been a whole shift of momentum in the second half, and we just don't really know how to respond. And you go down this game, and then you've really, really got to pitch up on Sunday. Right, around the back here in Australia, looking so good. Everything's starting to stick now. That's forward, surely. Yeah, the referee does bring it back. Nice opportunity here. Now, this is where we need to go back to basics. Just go back to basics. Good scrum, couple of phases. Try and win a penalty or two. Get yourself back in Australia's half. We've got 15 minutes. Go and score a try. If you go score a try now, that will hopefully knock the wind out the sails. As Gino Capito comes on, that's a nice player to be able to bring on. I'd imagine for JC Mars, he looks like he was struggling. Junior Capito, who's capped at sevens level, as his Sid Harvey. I don't think they played against each other. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure we did play against them during that weekend. And Patrick Jacobs decided this is our worst under 20 side. Probably the second game we've actually been able to watch so far this year. So we've got a nice big sample size to make that call. Big scrum that coming from Australia. Ball stuck inside there. We're going to have a reset. Not available, unfortunately, for Everson. Interesting, we haven't seen our Fisser coming on just yet. Right, so I think ever since, I want to say it's but Nick Hill probably who's really stabilized the Australian scrum so far. Look, bringing on Lapina Atta is a nice change as well. He's an absolute giant, is the replacement hooker for Australia. But 14 minutes left on the clock here. Just need a solid scrum. We've got dangerous players out there. We just need to start trying to get them into a bit of space. Let's see what we can conjure up here. First of all, we need a good solid scrum. That looks a bit better. Ball goes in. And I tell you, there's a second shove that's desperate to come. Then they do hook it. To the right-hand side goes Everson. There is Cupido. He's a tall man. No. The referee, there's no ways that's considered out. They've won, and they're going to go over. Nah, you're going to have a check at this. Cheswell Yuster has made a desperate attempt, and they've scored, but I want to go back and look at that. You can see what Carl Smith is saying. He's saying this ridiculous. I mean, the players come straight through and pick the ball up. I mean, the commentator talking about from defense to attack. Mate, he's come through and stolen the ball at the back of the ruck. Are we not going to have a look at that? Are we not going to have a check? It's a great attempt to tackle. Oh, he's out. He's actually done it. Cheswell Yuster, I spoke about how talented he was. He's done it. He's actually managed a try-saving tackle. That is absolutely phenomenal from him. I thought for all money, Conway was over. In fact, I didn't even think anybody was going to touch him. And Cheswell Yuster's coming. He's made a massive hit. What a... We have to check it's not too high, but he's definitely out. I think he's out. By the time he grounds it, I think he's in touch. Oh, they're checking the high tackle. I'm just looking at this in terms of in goal. I don't think the argument's going to be if this is a high tackle, then it'll be a penalty try. So a lot of things. Yeah, so we're looking more at whether he's out. I think he's out here. I'm very interested to see what they're going to go with here. In goal. No try. Thank you very much. That is phenomenal from Cheswell Yuster. That's so good. I mean, that is a potential game-changing tackle because... Yes, we're not winning at the moment, but that would have been. I think that would have been it. That could have been it, and that's a phenomenal tackle. I tell you what, I'd like to see more of his Cheswell Yuster. He's been brilliant today, not just with that tackle, but just I mean, the pace he showed in that one move where he found a lot of space out wide, and then managed to get back as well. The Bulls have got a very exciting prospect there. All right, Carl Smith going for distance with that dropout. Into the hands of, looks like James Martins. Ball available now for Martins. Left-hand side. Back in the pocket is Sid Harvey. I think he's actually putting that brilliantly. He was trying to get inside his half. Inside the 22 was Capito. Now kick and chaser from Carl Smith. Not sure it's the right option. A bit of a nothing kick, but Mlaba's going to get there and make a tackle. Now that's turned into a good tick, and Carl Smith wants to get over it. Pick up and go. Just can't really get our ball in the hands at the moment. Seeing look for space, looking for that 50-22. It's a good take from Cheswell Yuster. And he's decided he's going to mark it. This is the weirdest thing. He put his arms up to say he was claiming the mark and then basically went for it. It's a bit strange. Referee obviously didn't say anything, and now Carl Smith will clear. But playing in our own half, he's not fun touch either. It's not a deal from Carl Smith. Long pass out wide, and Malchus has made the read, but he's made it wrong, and now there's lots of space out wide. And this is going to be a try for Conway, and this time surely Noah's tackling. No, Capito's there! But the offload comes, and that's Australia over. That's probably game over. You can't win matches if you don't find touch. Carl Smith, you can't do that. It was 3 different kicks there. Nothing kicks. Nothing kicks. We were behind. We were a bit nowhere. We were under pressure, and he kept it inside, and they've literally gone from that, and they've scored. That needed to go into touch. That's a nothing kick. And he didn't chase it. Nobody chased it. There was no pressure whatsoever. They found a bit of space on the left-hand side. Malchus desperately makes a read. He gets it wrong. Capito's nowhere. He gets back and makes a brilliant tackle on Conway. But they just had numbers to Australia. Well, he's missed it. So 17 points, 26. It's now 9 points. It's now 9 points, you know. Trailer says, British Lions squad announcement later will be interesting tonight. I don't think it's tonight. I'm pretty sure it's on Thursday. It's on the 8th of May in my calendar. How's JC Mars playing? We didn't really get to see much of him. The backline's been quiet today. It was good in the first half. We looked promising, looked a lot better. Got to try and score quickly here if we're going to have a chance. Yeah, I mean, a converted try gets us to what? So that's 7 points. Gets us to 24 points. Then 3 points would be enough. So that's the important thing about that kick. Oh my word, Kyle Smith! What is that? He's just given I mean, that's a phenomenal covering tackle, but he's just ran in and then moves to the left and thrown it straight into the Australian hits. Guys, I mean, this is a hatchet job at the moment. And all of a sudden, Australia back on the front foot. How about like an intercept shot? I think that's about our only way of getting back into the game, because at the moment we can't get anybody. Batu Kakani eventually managed to bring one player down. Ball over the top. It just needs to be fielded and marked, hopefully. But it's very competitive, and it calls away to Conway. Conway's over. We'll have to go back and have a check. He could be over, but we'll have to go back and check. On-field decisions to try. Oh, what a disaster. What a disaster this could be. So is this forward from the Australian player? Does he get a hand on it? I think he does. I think that's quite a clear hand. So I'd be surprised if this is awarded. Yeah, I definitely touched that. Well, at this stage, there has to be, in theory, evidence enough to overturn it. Yeah, no tries. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I just don't understand how we went from being so good in that first half. We should have gone in at 21-0. And we've just fallen apart in the second half. So I don't know if that's a conditioning thing, if that's the bench not being able to make an impact. Here comes a change of scrum off. Albert Fisser coming on. Not a bad game in the end, I don't think, from Keanu Everson. One of the few players trying to make things happen. We just haven't really been able to show much for the dominance we've had, especially in scrum time. Been a frustrating afternoon, a very, very frustrating afternoon. Now we've got a big task ahead of us. I mean, look, you beat New Zealand on Sunday. In theory, even at this stage, if you can find a few points, get a bonus point, losing bonus point will be on 2 points behind New Zealand. You beat them, you could win the Rugby Championship. But if we go in at 4.7 points, then we've got to make sure basically we beat them and deny them a bonus point, or beat them with a bonus point. Which, after they put 75 points in Argentina, seems a bit unlikely, doesn't it? Fisser feeds. And penalty for South Africa. That's what we needed for a while. And Neil Hansen also on for South Africa. Right, and we lost the line out. That sums it up, doesn't it? Literally, that moment right there sums up how bad the second half has been. That's horrendous. It's actually inexcusable, to be perfectly honest. We just completely fallen apart in the second half. And it's a break and play because the Australia player down, so we start with a scrum, I imagine, going back towards an injured player. But as I said, we were at first half, we were really good. We physically dominated them. We were winning the scrums, we were winning the collisions, and looking really promising. I did say we needed to capitalize when we weren't, and now we're now starting to regret the fact that we didn't. We're having a look at potential foul play here. That would just be the icing on the cake if we were to get a yellow card or something. Number 4. So that would be Riley Norton. If we lose him for this weekend, that would be a big loss as well. Right, so over here, we've got to keep an eye on Riley Norton. Yeah, that doesn't look particularly good. As he's coming around the corner, drops the shoulder into the collision. You just can't be doing that anymore. Not with when you got cameras and the likes of that. Dear, 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 dear. I think we're going to lose Riley Norton, yeah, to be honest. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good, if you're going to be brutally honest. Right, what's the decision going to be? Yeah, I've got to turn the timer off. Ugh. There is still a few minutes. Only a penalty. Yeah, Ryan Norton gets away with that one, to be honest. But it's a penalty here in Australia for me. We'll probably just kick for goal, run the clock down, secure the win. 29.17. You're not turning that kind of score around. So it is kickable, and they didn't do exactly that. Especially in Sid Harvey, I think he's missed just one so far. I want to say it's about 78 minutes gone so far, 74. So we still have a bit of time. But if he gets this, then that will be game very much over. So basically saying that was a drop in high and low level of danger. So that's why it's just a penalty. Right, looking good, and that is a nail in the coffin, I think. 29 points to 17, 5 minutes left to go, unless you were to literally score off kickoff and score off kickoff again. I don't see South Africa getting a result. 4 tries now for Australia. The main thing I think about this moment would be a converted try would get us within 7. That's about all we can play for at the moment. I imagine he's going to go short once again. He's been going short every single time, has Carl Smith, but not particularly short. Come on, lads. Just create something, yeah. Right, Carl Smith, ball in hand. What can he conjure up? He looks to run himself. Mlaba. Ball available just inside Australia territory. Reed. That's a nice K from the prop. Klekani sits one down, gets ball to another. That's better. You kind of wonder where this has been, although Fist has been caught in the ball. He manages to get a chicken wing pass out wide. Chiswell Euster gets his hands through. Now Kabula's got a bit of space. Comes back inside, into the 22. Done well to keep it as well. Malchus, not the best pass. Erasmus now. Cheswell Juster, furious with the referee. He's come through, and that should definitely be a penalty. Cheswell Juster was furious with the referee because he got in the way. Offside. Not much time here. Got to pretty much tap and go here, people. Got to tap and go. Two converted tries would be enough, but we've got to get one with enough time to have a kickoff. Some of the players watching on, I'll be interested to see if you'll see them on... guys, we can't be flipping sitting there dancing when your team is losing. Ugh, goodness. It's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster. Right, going for the scrum, yeah. Desperately trying to get a penalty advantage. User says, and Fisk goes to the right-hand side. Capito breaks the tackle. He's been a bit of a difference when he's come on there. Penalty advantage, surely from the referee. No, not do things come. Lots of very lazy runners there from Australia. Got to score, yeah. We do have an advantage. It's good fighting there, is Lubber. Now, Carl Smith goes to Budget Kakani. Shirley goes himself and crashes over. And he scores. Right, here we go. We've got to do this quickly, yeah, people. Right, game back on. Game firmly back on. Kick to come. An important kick to come from Carl Smith. Budget Kakani probably could have given the offload away. Decided to back himself. In the end, was a little bit closer than I think he'd probably have liked. But good try. And now it's game on with a lot to play for. We're kind of wondering, where's the intensity been, though? You can't allow Australia to come back like that and then start playing the rugby. So Carl Smith, it needs to take his time to a certain degree because this is an important kick. And then we're going to have 90 seconds to receive kickoff. We're going to have to keep it within hand. And they're going to go deep. They're going to go deep, Australia. They're going to go probably back left. And Carl Smith, yeah, he makes no mistake with the kick. So job done with the grass to get us back into the game. Now, at the very least, it should be a bonus point. The win, however, will require another converted try. Yeah, so taking half the Australian team with him was Bartley. I don't think anybody was ever going to stop him from that distance. Right, so one try draws the game. 29-29 is exactly how it ended with Australia and New Zealand. So they'll be very familiar with that scoreline. Carl Smith, a bit indecisive at the moment. Then goes himself. Yeah, keeping the ball in hand. Have to. With 15 seconds to go, we have to keep ball in hand. Fisser. That's a nice carry. I'll tell you what, at this stage, give that ball to that man there. Not Malchus, but Chibito outside him. He's been really good coming on. He's a different level, though. You can just see he's played at sevens. He's a big lad. And there's just certain players at this level. They just look like it's boys against men type of thing. And he's one of them. And he's looked really good coming on as Capito. Definitely for me, going to be a start to come the weekend. Carl Smith goes to... too upright. Far too upright. Fisser now. Takes his time. Liela. Nice carry from him. But the ball's been lost forward, and they're going to kick it out, and that will be that. Well, we threatened to make a comeback, but in the end, a really poor second half means that the final score will be 29 points to 24. That's really, really frustrating from a Junior Boks point of view, because should never have lost it. Should never be losing that game. So it's poor. Right, well, we'll see how it goes on Sunday. All to do now. It's an important bonus point. It's an important bonus point. It means we are 2 points behind New Zealand going into the game on Sunday. So that is very important because it means that a victory will be enough, even if New Zealand get a losing bonus point. So basically, the equation is very simple. We win on Sunday, we win TRC under 20. Let's see how it gaps. I think that it's a game of two halves. I think that's the frustrating thing. For the first half, we looked really, really good, and then we allowed them to come back in. So there are lots of positives to look at in terms of what we can see. They can play like, but unfortunately, just couldn't put it on consistently and faded in that second half. I felt if they had scored before half time, that probably could have been a big moment in the game. But I think the biggest problem is it was a bit of a test of resilience and not a test that we passed. So we've got to fix that. People, thank you very much for joining me on a Tuesday evening, afternoon, evening. And we'll see you guys all very soon. Please do smash like on the video. Please do